Hi there, Ginger Roses. Welcome back to the YouTube. We're back here again with another video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the different types of kids that you find in school. And we're going to be ranking them from the worst all the way up to legendary level status. I went to a lot of different schools when I grew up, so I feel like I've met loads of different types of kids, and my opinion is very valid when it comes to this sort of stuff. This is my job. Now, I'm going to be ranking these entirely based on how I think they affect us as a student. Do they make our school life better, or do they make it worse? Before we start, guys, I just want to point this out. Of all of you lovely people that watch my videos, only 24.6% of you are subscribed. That is quite a large amount, but I would like that to get to 100%. So if you watch my videos and you enjoy watching them, then please do subscribe and become a member today. Okay, I'm going to save the best ones till last, so we'll start with some of these ones. We'll start with the smelly one. Taking a daily shower and picking a fresh set of clothes is essential. Yes, it certainly is. I've met a lot of smelly kids in my lifetime. I wouldn't say they're the worst, but they're definitely not cool. So they're going to go in meh. The reason they're not the worst is because it would also be kind of funny. Okay, the next one, the silent one. Shyness, lack of confidence, or is it a dark secret? What are they hiding? There is one of those in every class, the one that just doesn't say a word. It's like they're mute. To be fair, that was me at one point. For me, it was a lack of confidence. And as I got older, I just got more loud. They were all right. They weren't harming anyone. They weren't legendary, but they definitely weren't the worst. So they're going to go in all right. This is an interesting one, and I've definitely met this kind of person. The pencil magnet. They have every color of pen, post-it markers, but all of them were stolen. Oh my god. The amount of pens I lent out to people that didn't return them and they just stole them. I was the kid that brought in, I had all the stationery, right? And if a kid asked me to borrow a pen, I'd more than happily lend it out because I just felt like, it made me feel like a god of school. But then they wouldn't bring it back. I think they're the worst kind of people, you know? It's going in the worst. Okay, next one, the crybaby. Nothing wrong with that. It's a good way to release emotions and focus better. I do agree with that. It would be kind of annoying, though, if they were crying every lesson, though, for no reason. I remember there was a girl in my class. She was crying, and she would do every day. And when I asked her why she was crying, she was like, I don't know. She literally had no reason to cry. She's not the worst. She's going in meh. I say she. Sometimes it was a he. I do remember there were some boys that would cry as well. Okay, the next one. The motivator. The more you do this, the more you want to. Let's go. There'll be a kid in class who'll be like, guys, we gotta do this. We gotta work together to complete the work. Everyone will be like, shut up. Just shut. Like, I respect what you're trying to do here, but shut up. So, yeah, they were kind of annoying, to be honest. They're going in meh. Okay, the impersonator. This is a good one. Knows the lines from the best movies. Keeps quoting them. Cowabunga, dude. These guys are like basically on the same level as the class clown. They were pretty cool. It's going in cool. I wouldn't say they're legendary, though. We've got some of those coming up. Okay, the escapist. Every excuse they get to avoid class, they take it with no questions asked. The kids that were constantly trying to break out of school. And it was funny. As a student like myself, who was just trying to get work done, but also have a bit of fun, I wasn't taking life too seriously. It was great. It was great to see someone just trying to escape school, but for my entertainment. So they're going in cool. All right, the Barbie. Can be described as being narcissistic, but beautiful. Usually had a rich dad too. Oh god, they were annoying. I think they were the worst. They wouldn't have been the worst had they ever spoken to me and liked me. But they didn't. So they're going in the worst pile. Okay, the class clown. They have at least one joke for every situation and love attention seeking. Now, you might have thought when I was in school, I was the class clown. I definitely wasn't. I was too scared to speak. I was the silent kid. I didn't want to speak because I was just scared of shitless of everything. But I feel like the class clown goes out of their way to make everyone else laugh, improve their school experience, and get a detention for it. That only deserves a legendary tier. They've got to go in legendary. Okay, the walking bladder. They raise their hand 5 times in class, and 3 of them are bathroom breaks. That is so true. Every class would have that. It would just be a kid really making an excuse because they wanted to go on their phone and just not be doing work so they could go to the toilet, which is fair enough. And they're all right. I don't really have much of an opinion on them. Okay, the vandal lacks the impulsive control to not vandalize desks when left alone. Yeah, that is so true. Also, in my school, there would be a kid that would go around with spray paint or like a Sharpie, random places in the school, and just draw penises. And you'd be walking around the school, it was a big school, and you'd be like, oh, there's another one of Keith's penises he's drawn. I wonder when I'm going to find another one. It was kind of funny. I'm going to put him in cool. You also know that if he got found doing that, it would just get an isolation, or worse, he might get killed. Okay, the questioner. These people ask way too many questions just to hear the sound of their own voice. That would really extend the lesson as well. It would be like the end of lesson. We weren't allowed to go until we were all ready to go in my class. and the bell had gone for lunch, and the kid would just be putting their hand up, asking more questions about the work, and be like, for sake, we're trying to go to lunch. They're going in the worst. They're going in the worst pile. I get that they're trying to learn, but there's a limit. Come on. Make sure you stick around to the end, guys, because I'm going to save the best ones till last. Okay, the phantom pooper. Spreads poop everywhere except for the toilet itself. Probably has some issues. The amount of kids, right, in my school that would do this, I'd never see them do it, but I know they'd do it because I'd walk into the boys' toilets and there'll just be shit all over the floor, on the walls, sometimes even on the ceiling, and in the urinals. You're only meant to piss in those, girls, if you didn't know that. But there will be poo in it. Oh, do I put them in the worst or did I put them in meh? I put them in meh because it was kind of funny, but at the same time, it's like, what on earth is wrong with you? All right, the TikTok influencer. That is me. That is definitely me. It wasn't me when I was in school. I don't think TikTok was even a thing. I think it was called Musical.ly when I was in school. I do remember when TikTok came out, though, I thought, what the hell is everyone doing? This is such a gay app. Why is everyone just dancing? Oh, God. Oh, how times have changed. And now it's my job. No, I'm more of a YouTuber now these days. Anyway, I'm going to put this. I don't really have an opinion on it. They're all right. They're all right. They're not legendary. I've never seen one in school, so I don't know. Okay, the Picasso. So this would be the kid that was really, really, really good at art. It would be really funny because I was not. I was so bad at art. Like, you know in primary school when you're meant to draw a picture of yourself to go on the tea towels? Remember that? Well, I was the only one that used yellow as a color to color my skin in. I looked unwell. I looked like a chicken with some sort of horrible illness. And there would just be all these girls, mainly girls, sometimes boys, that were really good at art. And it would just be annoying, but also kind of funny. These kids were pretty cool, because I could only aspire to be as good at art as them. Okay, next one, we have the stabby one. I'm glad that in all of my years of experience in school, I did not have a stabby kid in it. Obsessed with blood and cutting things, their favorite stationery is the compass. We did have a kid, though, that threw a compass at my teacher and he just immediately got sent out. And it was kind of funny. If we're talking about actual, like, people trying to kill other kids, yeah, probably not the best kind of people that we want. So it's going to go in the worst. Oh, the business person. Now, these kids, they'd win awards like most likely to become a millionaire or billionaire. For some reason, they were just really good with money. Comes dressed in formal suits, which they probably learned from their parents. Yeah. I mean, these kids were cool. These kids were pretty cool. They knew their shit. Okay, the next one. The all-rounder. Joined every extracurricular activity. Active in sports and gets good grades. How? The amount of kids, right, in my school that would be like this. Like, they wouldn't try in school, but they'd be just so naturally gifted at everything. And it was so annoying. It's not their fault. They were just good at stuff. They were just good at life. I'm going to put them in all right. Okay, next one. The weirdo, a.k.a. Henry. What's the weirdest thing you've seen someone do at school? Comment below. I mean, obviously, we've spoken a lot about the weird kids in previous videos. I think these guys are great because school would not be the same without them. They're so funny without meaning to be, and it just makes school better, unless you're sat next to them for some reason. You do not want to be sat next to or paired with the weird kid. But I'm going to put them in cool. The weird kids are actually cool kids, just because they make school so much more funny. Okay, next we have the new kid. Now, this happened to me, as I said, about 4 times, because I went to so many different primary schools. I went to the same secondary school all the way throughout, but I went to 3 different primary schools. So I was the new kid a lot of times. And it's pretty hard, because you have to make new friends every time. But it makes you good at making new friends. So rebuilding your social life is one of the challenges when changing schools. I mean, I don't really have an opinion on them. They're just, they're just the new kids. So I'm going to put them in all right. But I feel for them, Okay, this is a bit of a weird one. The panty sniffer. The kid who lingers in the changing rooms to sniff pants when no one is looking. I mean, I've never heard of this in my school. Oh my God, it's really making me think now. What if there was a kid that would do that and just go in and sniff my pants when I was doing PE? Makes me feel weird. It makes me feel weird inside. Yeah, they don't sound like the best kind of people. It's kind of funny though. I'm gonna put them in meh. Meh. All right, next we got the Mega Chad. They are a natural at being charismatic and attracting a huge following of friends. Yeah, this was not me. I had my friends, don't get me wrong, but I was not the most popular kid in school. But I was always like envious of those that were, because the grass is always greener, isn't it? You grow up and you realize it really doesn't matter. It's just f***ing school. But the grass is always greener on the other side. And yeah, so I'm going to put them, yeah, they're pretty cool. I wouldn't say they're legendary. Not many in the legendary column at the moment, are there? Only the class clown. Don't worry, there will be more. Okay, next one, the Hall Demon. aka the hall monitor. Better be on your best behavior or else. Now, these guys would just brown nose the absolute arsehole out of the teachers. You'd just be like, come on, guys, you're on our side. You're a student as well. Why are you doing this? Why are you brown-nosing the teacher? So I'm going to put them in the worst. They're basically traitors. Okay, I think we might have found another legendary one. The Daredevil. Hey, watch this, is their most used sentence. I remember there was a kid in my school. He would just do the most stupid things. Like, we were at the top of the stairs once. He was like, hey, Jake, do you think I can jump to the bottom of the stairs without breaking my legs? But like, no, don't. Why would you even try that? And he just jumped. Somehow, he was fine. I don't know what was going through his head. Like, why would you want to try that? He would just do the stupidest things for other kids' entertainment. And that can only go in legendary. Okay, the metalhead. Metal was once seen as a threat to society and considered satanic. I don't really listen to heavy metal. And as long as they weren't trying to, like, push it onto me and other kids, then I don't care. They're just meh. They're all right, actually. They're all right. Okay, the smelly eater. This was actually kind of me. I used to have packed lunches, and my mum or dad, whoever was making my lunch, would sometimes put tuna in it, or cheese and pickle. And all the other kids would be like, oh, what is wrong with you? I'd be like, what? It's nice. It might smell, but it's actually nice. Anyway, I don't have many friends, so... If other kids had tuna, for some reason, just because it's someone else's, it does make you go, ooh. So I'm going to put them in there. They weren't the worst. It's not their fault. They're weird, you know. Okay, the pants puller. Always check the toilets before you use the urinal. This kid may be hiding there. While you're pissing, he pulls your pants up. Oh, yeah, these guys were the worst. They're basically bullies, aren't they? They essentially are just bullies. There's absolutely no need to go near my pant area, even if you're trying to sniff them. So that's going in the worst, because that's essentially a bully. Okay, next one, the smartass, aka the nerd. When their mouth opens, usually a door also opens for them to leave. Again, I was probably just jealous of them because they were smarter than I was. Yeah, they're all pretty nice guys though. They're going in all right. They're going in all right tier. I didn't have any quarrels with them. And they're always good if you had questions and you didn't want to ask the teacher. Okay, the fighter. In humans, frustration due to blocked goals can cause aggression. There would always be a kid in school that would just want to fight you for no reason. Hey, you picking on me? What did you just say about my mum? Oh, f***'s sake. They were just naturally aggressive for no reason. I'm gonna put them in the worst. They're essentially just year 7 chavs. And there's no other tier for a year 7 chav than the worst type of student. Okay, next one, the smoker. You would get these kids in school. It may surprise you, parents, if you're watching. Some kids do smoke, even in school. These kids weren't doing anyone harm, apart from themselves. So I'm just gonna put them in, they're all right. I wouldn't hang around them. I'm going to save the next legendary one to the end of the video, so make sure you carry on watching to the end, guys, to find out what it is. All right, next one, the band kid. Now, these would be the kids that would be really, like, heavily into music, and they'd be a pretty cool person. They'd be pretty cool. I've just said it. It's going in cool. They'd always, like, play at the end of year assembly as well, and everybody would be cheering them on. They were pretty cool people. All right, next one, the candy salesman. The one who's always trying to make some extra money through side hustling. That is so true. I do remember kids doing that. It's almost legendary. It almost is, but I wouldn't say it's quite. It's going in cool. It's just cool that you can have, like, your own shop. Okay, next one. This is very weird. The self-pleasurer. I did not have this in my school, did you? We all heard that horror story of the kid expelled for doing this in the back of the library. No. No, we didn't. Who has a wank in school? It's so weird. Oh, God. It sounds really funny, though. Like, they're not the worst, and they're definitely not legendary for having a wank in school. So they're going in all right. I don't know. All right, the prankster. They'll ask you to try their new lighter out. The results will be shocking. Did you ever have a kid in school that would bring in one of those electric pens? Oh, my God. They'd be like, hey, try my pen. If you press the clicker, it would give you an electric shock. Oh my God, it's the first time that happened to me. It scared the shit out of me. But it was kind of funny. They're definitely not cool people though. They're going in all right. I feel like the prankster was one of those ones that would be funny if it wasn't happening to you. All right, the snoozer. These are the kids that would not wake up to their alarm and end up coming late to school every day. And it was kind of funny. 70% of students regularly suffer from fatigue. Should school start later? What do you guys think? Yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny. It wasn't really affecting anyone, though. It's going in all right. It's going in all right. Okay, the kid that was always stressed. Stress impairs memory retrieval, bearing the risk of underachieving in exams. I can't think of many more stressful environments than being in school. Forced to do exams, and you're getting bullied. It's just the most horrible time ever. I mean, I don't really have much of an opinion on the kid that was always stressed, because To be honest, most kids were stressed. You would get some kids, though, super stressed out about exams because they set the bar so high. So if they wanted an A, they're constantly trying for like an A star, like the highest grade, or a 9 if you go to school now. And they put so much pressure on themselves to achieve it. So yeah, I don't really have much of an opinion on them. They're going in meh. Oh, these kids were kind of annoying. The gossiper. So if you had any secrets, they would get around. But at the same time, if you wanted to find out some secrets, they were pretty good to finding out some secrets. People often gossip to bond with their group members and entertain themselves. Yeah, these guys were all right. They weren't cool. They weren't legendary. They weren't the worst. They were all right. Ooh, the cheater. They have poor study skills, prevents them from keeping up with the material. So they would always cheat in all the tests. As long as they weren't affecting me, I don't really care. I never actually cheated on an exam, ever, in a test, because I was too worried that I would get told off. I was a goody two-shoes because I was just scared shitless of getting in trouble. I don't really know why. It's just like a fear of mine. But the cheater, that's going to go in all right. Again, don't really have an opinion on him. All right, the lady killer. Girls' phone numbers are just like Pokemon for this guy. Got to catch them all. The kid that would just... He would just be so good with the ladies. And we're all envious of him. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The soon-to-be expelled often roams the school on bathroom break to go mess with other classes. That is so true. Every school has a kid that is the worst of the worst. And it's funny the things some kids get expelled for. I had one kid in my class bite a teacher, and she had to go to hospital to get the kid's teeth removed from her wrist. Yeah, he got expelled. So I'm gonna put them in. I mean, obviously they're not great for the teachers, but I'm not ranking it on that. I'm ranking it based on what they're like to other students. And to be honest, they're probably not nice to other students, but for entertainment purposes, they're pretty cool. It just makes school funnier. Okay, we have the genius, future billionaire, high achievers, and extremely competitive. Make friends with them now or regret it. If there's one in your class, guys, make friends with them because they will be billionaires and you will want to be friends with them. And if that person is you, can I be friends with you? I'm going to put them in pretty cool. They're pretty cool people. All right, we have made it to the last 5, and I've saved some of the best ones till last. Okay, this is a weird one. The stalker. Around 15% of women and 6% of men in the US have been victims of stalking. That is a really scary statistic. The stalker. I mean, I didn't ever get stalked in my school, or not that I know of. Oh my God, that's really scary to think of, actually. Maybe I was a victim of stalking, but I didn't even know it. And they were going through and trying to sniff my pants when I was doing PE. Oh God. Yeah, this person is just weird. That's going in the worst. That is the worst kind of person. All right, the future president. There would always be a kid that would be voted most likely to become prime minister or president if you're from America. Obama was a pretty normal kid. No one had an idea that he'd go to become the president. That's pretty cool to know. You never know. These kids were pretty cool. They're always pretty chill. They were pretty nice people. They're normally like really smart, just got on with everyone. They were pretty cool. I wouldn't say they're legendary though. Okay, the fangirl / fanboy. The ones who obsesses and tries to get everyone into their favorite artist. That was pretty much every girl when I was in school trying to get me into Justin Bieber. All the girls love Justin Bieber. Like, oh my God, have you heard his new song? No, because I'm not gay. No, Justin Bieber's pretty cool, but when I was 13, I couldn't have cared less. They're going in meh. Oh my God, the school shooter. Well, I think we know where this one's going. Studies found that 93% of school shooters planned the attack in advance. What did the other 7% do? They didn't know? They didn't know they were going to shoot up a school. Surely they did. How does that even work? That's crazy. Well, it's obviously going in the worst. So glad that doesn't happen in the UK. Okay, moving on. Okay, we've made it to the last one, and it is the IT guy. These guys are so good. Their main character moment is helping the teacher set the projector up or computer. Yes, that, and also if the teacher couldn't get the film to work. For some reason, teachers were just absolutely shit at IT. You needed this kid to start the film if you had a film day in school. Absolutely legendary. Absolutely legendary kid. Oh, well, that is it. We've made it to the end, guys. And in the legendary column, we've got the class clown, the daredevil, and the IT guy. In my opinion, are the top 3 most legendary students in school. They go up and above just for everyone else. And in the worst, we've got the pencil magnet, aka the ones that steal your pens, the Barbie, the questioner, the stabby one, the hall monitor, the pants puller, the fighter, the stalker, and the school shooter. I mean, they're in the worst column for obvious reasons. I don't need to go into more explanation in those. Oh, God. Right, well, anyway, that is the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you want to see me do next. Take it easy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!